What's going on, guys? So today we are out here at Explore USA RV Supercenter in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we are taking a look at this more affordable towable travel trailer. This is a bumper pole travel trailer. This is from PROWLER. It's a stick and tin unit, which means it has a wood superstructure with an aluminum siding to it on a steel frame. But you know, for a lot of folks who are looking to get into RVing, this might be the first thing you look at. So let's take a closer look at it. Hang tight, I'll be right back. So before we get any further, let's take a look at the numbers on this unit. So this is going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of 6,900 pounds. It's going to have a 1,950 pound cargo capacity, and it's going to ride on twin, I believe, probably 3,500 pound axles. So the axle capacity actually exceeds the gross vehicle weight rating, which is always a good thing. So this is a really good example of what some people might be interested in towing with. Now, the dry weight of this specific unit is going to be around 5,000 pounds. So if you're really careful how you load it up and you have a properly equipped half-ton truck, max tow, all of that, you're likely going to be okay towing this with a half-ton truck. You just got to be careful how much weight you put inside of this unit. There are no slides, so that does reduce weight, and this unit in general is just relatively light. So just be careful how you load it up. Fully loaded, it's over what I typically recommend, and it's not over really from a towing perspective. It's going to be over from a payload perspective. The amount of weight that transfers to the back of your truck, plus people, cargo, supplies, everything that you have in the truck as well. Anyways, let's take a look inside of this travel trailer, and then we will come back out and look at the outside of it. So this is a PROWLER 240RB, and this is a pretty cool unit. I think you're going to like it. This has the LCI solid steps walking into it. It does not have a friction hinge to hold the door open, but it does have a little door hold right there, which is nice. All right. Stepping inside, I'm gonna pan around real quick so you can see what it's all about. Again, this unit does not have any slides, so just keep that in mind as we look around inside. A lot of countertop space here in the kitchen. I can definitely appreciate that. Good size Suburban 3-burner cooktop oven, so you have a good cooking area right here, larger than a lot of people might expect in a travel trailer of this size. Let's see what the price is. This unit has an MSRP of $35,678. The asking price is going to be significantly lower than that, so you definitely want to call them if you're interested. A lot of people will say, I'd never pay 35 grand. Well, you're not going to pay 35 grand. If you call them, typically the sales price will be quite a bit lower. You have some nice cabinetry up here with this really cool kind of frosted pattern look to it. You have a Hot Point compact microwave in here as well. Furrion vent hood. This is going to have a Norcold 12-volt refrigerator, which is really nice. Fuse panels, everything down there. You got this really interesting space right here with power, USB charging, and storage that it's a little confusing to me what it's used for. It's nice that they utilized it, but you might want to put like a coffee maker here. You know, it might be for a TV, but I'm sure the TV backer is going to be somewhere else. Maybe that's where you put your TV. That's my only confusing part right now is, oh, right there. What am I thinking? So they put the TV up in a nice little surrounded area with cabinets on each side. I was looking for a cable jack or an HDMI, and right there's your HDMI connection. Cabinets on each side. Nice compact booth-style dinette that converts into a bed. Nice jackknife sofa, which also converts into a bed. You have your thermostat right here. Really cool little shelf. I like this above the top. This has pleated blinds. Open it up. Lets a lot more light inside. So this is actually really cool, and for its size, it gives you quite a bit. I mean, plus that huge window really illuminates the entire inside of this. When you compare this to like the Black Series we have, you really can't compare it, but what's nice is that this area right here is very comparable in the sense of being able to utilize the space to enjoy it if you're going to take it out to the beach or, you know, a park or wherever you plan on going. Back here is your bathroom, your sink, and mirror on the wall. That's not a medicine cabinet, it's just a mirror. It looks like you have an enormous area right here. You got a pretty good sized space. So these go back about 2 feet, which is nice. I was wondering if they go all the way back, but they don't. Nice window back here as well. And it has a reasonable size stand-up shower. So it's not too bad at all. You could probably be upwards of about 6.5 feet tall to fit comfortably in here. You have your toilet right here, which is a plastic? Yeah, it's a plastic toilet. It kind of looks like a porcelain toilet. But yeah, this is a pretty cool little floor plan space. Let's take a look in the bedroom area. All right, so stepping into the bedroom, you have a place to mount your TV, power cable for it. You have pleated blinds here in the bedroom. You have some wardrobe space on each side, some storage above, your windows. This blind is up, so it actually lets a lot of light in. But check this out. On each side of the bed, you got these cool little cubbies so you can put your phones or whatever you need, and I'm assuming they put power in here, which they did. Very cool. That's actually pretty neat how they did that. It utilizes some of your wardrobe space, but it gives it back to you in terms of a place to set things. And then you still have two little nightstands on each side. Which is really nice. Now there is no vent up top here, which means this unit only has one air conditioning unit. Otherwise they would typically put a vent here that you can drop another AC unit in. You have some controls right here. This is for your awning. Overall, pretty cool. Price is going to be pretty affordable, I'd imagine, too. Has a single Coleman Mach air conditioning system, which I like. But let's take a look at the outside of this unit and see what it's all about. Okay, starting from the front, working our way back, this has a manual front tongue jack. It has a place for two 20-pound propane tanks, and you could probably fit 2 batteries up front. This is going to be your front pass-through storage spot. Relatively thin doors, but that's typically what you get on these. Wow, that's a lot more space than I thought you'd have. This is a lot of space in here. So it gives you a huge front pass-through area, which is really nice. You have electric stabilizers on the front and back. That's also kind of a surprise. I wasn't really expecting that. So there's a lot of value so far in what you get on this specific unit, which I can appreciate. Again, your LCI solid step swing down steps. It has a relatively wide stance to the axles, and this is running some Tostar STR tires. They're 14-inch wheels. I would upgrade these relatively quick. Not to say you couldn't get a couple thousand miles on them, but I would definitely upgrade them relatively quick. You have your power connection, cable connection if you want to run a TV out here. You have a low point drain under there to drain your tank whenever you get home. This is going to be your rear electric stabilizer, which is nice. It is wired for a Furrion wireless backup camera. Looks to be all incandescent bulbs back here. They are. Has a 4-inch tubular bumper with this cap coming off. Spare tire on the back. Coming around this side. Okay, this is where all your water connections are. City water connection. This is going to be your black tank flush. 30 amp connector right here. You're going to have a small outside shower right here, which is really nice. Cable input connection right here. Furnace. You're going to have your gray tank and sewer connections over here as well. This is going to be your freshwater fill. So this is where you would fill your freshwater tank. The back one's where you would connect it to city water when you get to an RV park with water. This is going to be the outside of your water heater. And coming around over here, the other side of your pass-through storage. Again, very large space. And looking underneath it, it rides on a 6-inch I-beam frame, which is perfectly fine for this size of trailer. Anyways, guys, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about a unit like this? Especially if you're just getting into RVing. You know, again, as long as you're very careful and you have a properly spec'd max tow half-ton truck, I don't think you'd have any problem towing this. And guys, focus in on this part. Whenever I talk about towing something like this, I'm not talking about the gross vehicle weight rating being the factor in terms of towing capacity. I'm talking about payload capacity. Transferring the tongue weight of this to the back of your truck when it's fully loaded, you're gonna be about 600 or 700 pounds. And at 700 pounds, you take 900 pounds worth of family, you're going to be exceeding most of your half-ton truck's payload capabilities. So that's what I try to focus on when I talk about payload capacity on half-ton trucks. It's not that you can't tow it, it's that do you have too much weight resting over the back of your truck? That's it. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.